Welcome back to Halo Halo. Angela Sun's passion project to inform others of our plastic consumption is catching worldwide attention and is also premiering at this year's Los Angeles Asian Pacific Film Festival. Angela Sun tells us more.
There's a dead bird over there. I directed and produced a documentary called Plastic Paradise, the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, about what is going on in our oceans and the plastic trash and pollution that is affecting not just the sea life, but how it affects us as humans today. Well, I heard about the notion of this sort of urban legend of this patch in the Pacific Ocean in 2005. And then after reading an LA Times article in 2006 and doing some more research, I realized there's not that much about it. And so I, as a surfer, a scuba diver, and an ocean enthusiast, I had to go and search and learn more. And so I sort of am an accidental environmentalist of sorts. I really just care about my backyard, and I've always cared about the oceans. And so that led into more research, and that now at the end of, well, the 8-year journey now, the fruition of it is the movie.
That patch of garbage in the Pacific is growing, and right now it's having a huge impact on the species that call Midway home.
It wasn't just covering the surface, I had to ask legislators and activists and also industry and different policymakers and just everyday people, why should I care about this? How does this affect me every day? And it really opened my eyes up to the world of plastics and how much we use of it. So beyond just what's happening in the oceans very, very far away from us, it was really how does it affect me in my home on land, and how would it affect someone who doesn't live by the oceans? Plastic is ubiquitous and prevalent in every facet of our society. We wear it, we drink from it, we eat from it. You know, your headphones have it, you know, the microphones have pieces of plastic. Everything, every part of life has some sort of plastic. So if every single piece of plastic that has ever been created is still somewhere on a planet, because it's so fantastic, it never breaks down, it never biodegrades and goes away, where does it go? So if the Earth is covered by over 75% water, I mean, it's just massive, the amount of plastic in our oceans and how it's affecting that sea life and how it goes up the food chain. Our underwater footprint is astounding.
Plastics will play as large a role in peace as they do in war.
Every day, we add estrogen-like chemicals to our body through plastics.
It's like we're all in the midst of a giant, uncontrolled experiment.
Without your permission, you are being polluted. Is that okay with you?
And I'm not talking that plastic is bad. I'm definitely not saying that. I actually think it's a really great technology and innovation that's moved us forward as a society. But there's so much excess. There's so much single use that is unnecessary and that we don't even think about. It's not even on our brains to think about it. So we're just so used to this throwaway society, we don't think about what happens after. It's not about what goes on over there, it's how it affects us here, because it's coming up and we are ingesting it in some way, shape, or form by perhaps the fish we eat, by, you know, the chemicals that leach out of the plastics. There's a lot going on. Oh my gosh.
The story has to be told because the solution doesn't lie with the people here.
My hope is to be able to start a behavioral shift and change. In the same way that smoking is now not as cool. It wasn't very long ago that there was smoking on airplanes. Now it's, you know, you don't really even see smoking outside of restaurants anymore. People can change, and I'm hopeful that people can change, and it's just really being aware. And I think the media, specifically documentaries, allow us to be able to tell those stories that people haven't heard yet.
Plastic Paradise is screening this Saturday at the Art Theater in Long Beach. When we return, director Dean Yamada gives us an inside look at his coming-of-age feature film debut, Cicada.